Right. It was historic. It was epic. The brawl at the Coliseum. And our girl, Tracy. Let's give it up for the hockey spin with Tracy Lynn.
Good evening, everybody. I know it's been the talk of the town for the past few days, the Islanders brawl versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm going to get into that in just 1 minute, Howie. There are two other items I would like to address that happened in hockey. Peter Forsberg attempted another comeback with the Colorado Avalanche. It lasted all of 2 games. The 37-year-old future Hall of Famer had foot problems over the past few seasons. He wanted to give it another shot, but realized he's just not at the same level where he used to be. He's had a wonderful career, and you ready for these accolades? Is that pronounced that right?
Yes,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, he had a real good career. Here we go. 2 Olympic gold medals, 94 and 06. Calder Trophy, Rookie of the Year, 1995. Hart Trophy is the NHL points leader in 2003. 7-time All-Star. 2 Stanley Cups with Colorado in 96 and 2001. And the Colorado Avalanche will retire his jersey next season. So good luck to Peter Forsberg in the future, and it was a pleasure watching you play. The Philadelphia Flyers. Okay, if you remember months ago, the great thing about being on radio is months and months and months ago, I said the Flyers are the team to beat in the Eastern Conference. Well, I'm right. We should just get used to it. They actually made a trade with Toronto to get Chris Versteeg. Versteeg is on pace for his 3rd consecutive 20-goal season. It's going to be interesting to see where the Flyers use him. He was with the Stanley Cup winning Chicago Blackhawks last season. He's a very talented player, and it'll be very interesting. How he's very excited about the fight. It'll be very interesting to see how he does if he plays on the line on the wing with Mike Richards and Jeff Carter, but the Flyers are really the team to beat in the East. Okay, here we go. Friday's game versus the Pittsburgh Penguins and the New York Islanders. Man. The foil was on, and it was old-time hockey. I was there, and there were a lot of fights. When I left the game, actually, the off-ice officials, they're usually gone by the time I get back from the locker room. They were still sitting there trying to sort everything out. And I asked one, I said to the one guy, "You're going to be here for a while, huh?" He says, "Oh, it's going to be a long night." And it sure was, because I left the Coliseum at 11 o'clock, and they were still there. 3-page box score, by the way, with all the penalties. So we first saw a fight between the now fan favorite Michael Haley, who was called up from Bridgeport for the game, and Penguin Craig Adams. A very decisive victory going to Michael Haley. Very standard hockey fight. And then about 15 minutes later, just another fight between Trevor Gillies and Eric Goddard. And so in the first period, we saw 2 fights, but we also did see the Islanders score 4 goals. That's the one thing that is lost in all of this, is the fact that the Islanders put 4 goals past Brent Johnson long before any of the craziness began. At 5:21 of the second period, that's when it really got out of control. Matt Martin sucker punched Max Talbot in the first period. This was actually in response to a hit that happened the last time these 2 teams met, where Max Talbot gave Blake Como a concussion. There was no penalty on the hit, and the league didn't review the hit, so Martin decided to take matters into his own hands, quite literally. The game just got out of control from there. I mean, Josh Bailey got a fighting major. Josh Bailey doesn't fight. So Bailey, Martin, and Travis Hamonic, the Pittsburgh Penguins, Englund, Dupuis, and Rupp were all ejected in the second period, and the Penguins did score 2 goals on that power play. And then the third period got really ugly, with Michael Haley getting into 2 fights. He got into one with Max Talbot, and then he skated down the length of the ice and beat up goaltender Brent Johnson, which led Eric Goddard to come off the Pittsburgh bench to protect the goalie from Michael Haley. This brawl was initiated after Trevor Gillies checked Eric Tangradi, whichever, and there was later determined to be an elbow to the head. They actually did put up a gate between the locker rooms to keep the players away from each other. In a total, there were 346 penalty minutes, 10 player ejections, 15 fighting majors, and 20 game misconducts. At the end of the game, there were 2 players on the Penguins bench and 6 on the Islander bench. There were a few scattered on the ice trying to finish the game and actually play some hockey. I actually haven't heard the Coliseum that loud at all this season. There's been a lot of controversy going back and forth there. There was a lot of name-calling and pointing, but Zenon Konopka of the New York Islanders heard Mario Lemieux's take on it, and he said as soon as he gets home, he's taking down his Lemieux poster. I agree with him. Definitely lost in all of this is the fact the Islanders are playing some excellent hockey. They beat the Penguins, who are supposed to be one of the best teams in the league. They beat them 9-3. They scored 6 goals in a 24-minute span before any of the nonsense happened. Let's just call it nonsense. Michael Grabner is out of his mind, on fire right now. He's making a case for himself to be Rookie of the Year, winning the Calder Trophy. He's currently tied with San Jose's Logan Couture for the rookie lead in scoring with 24. He has 9 goals in his last 5 games. He was named the NHL's first star this week. And then, of course, the Islanders also beat the Buffalo Sabres on Sunday by a score of 7-6. And you guessed it, Michael Grabner notched a hat trick, game-winning goal in overtime. And that's the brawl. And it was a fun game to watch, and I hope I never see anything like that again, because there were things that happened that I don't condone. I do enjoy a good fight at a hockey game, maybe two, but it was definitely out of control, and even I just wanted to go home at a certain point. For local hockey, the Long Beach Marines took Game 1 of the finals against Connecticut-Sayville in Suffolk County High School League by a final score of 7-3 last night. They look to win it all tonight in a best-of-3 series. Go Long Beach! What?
6-3.
6-3 last night? It says 7-3 in Long Beach match. Well, they won. It doesn't matter what the final score is. A W's a W. See you all next week.
All right. All right. All right. Now, MMA with Al Iaquinta, and Al might touch on something. Bad news for Long Beach, but Al is a Wantagh native, wrestled at Wantagh High School, and the bad news for us people in Long Beach is that Wantagh dethroned Long Beach High School as the reigning champion in wrestling, but Long Beach did have 3 county champions, so they still had a great night. But let's give it up for Al Iaquinta!
Only good news, Howie. 6 degrees on Friday. We're going to be at the beach. All right. Wrestling results. We had Wantagh, of course, winning the county championship. But we do have some Long Beach guys that wrestled great. Dylan Palacio won his county title. The name Palacio in Long Beach, great name. If you know wrestling in Long Beach, Palacio is a name that stands out.
Leo Palacio, right?
Leo,
yep.
A great match was Krishna Sukumar defeated Mark Raghunandan. What is it? How do you say it?
Raghunandan, right?
However you say it.
I just want to interject this. They're actually cousins. Can you imagine that? First cousins faced each other in the county finals, both from Long Beach, cousins. Now, how would you like to wrestle your cousin in the county finals? But it happened here in Nassau County.
It was a great match. You saw Raghunandan, he took control early, and then within the last couple seconds of the match, Sukumar put him on his back and pinned him, winning his county title. We should see Raghunandan.
How do you pronounce it?
It's Raghunandan.
Raghunandan.
Yeah, it's a tough name.
We should see him in the state championships. He should get a bid for the state tournament. And then we saw Wantagh, my alma mater, Danny McDevitt, finalist, took second. Joe Kavanaugh and Steve Hall both winning in their weight classes, taking the county title. They'll go up to this state tournament and hopefully do great for Wantagh. In MMA, we saw John Vellante make the step up to Strikeforce. He lost to Chad Griggs by TKO in the Strikeforce. He was an alternate in the Strikeforce heavyweight tournament. Vellante made the big step up, and he's a MacArthur native. So I know Long Island's rooting for him, and I'm sure we're going to see him come back strong. He's going to get used to the big stage, and he'll do just fine for himself. He's going to drop down to light heavyweight from heavyweight, where he's a little undersized. Chad Griggs had a little too much weight on him, I guess. And in the heavyweight championship match, we saw Fedor Emelianenko, who went over a decade without losing. He took his second loss in a row to Antonio Silva. Anyone that knows MMA knows that Fedor Emelianenko, the Russian, is known for domination. He doesn't lose, and he dropped his first 2 in a row after a decade without going unbeaten. So he's thinking about retirement, and we'll see where he goes from here. Howie, happy birthday.
All right.
And all right, we'll see you on the beach, 60 degrees, Long Beach. How are we doing?
All right, great.
All right.
All right. There's one thing that's been missing about this show, and the great Charlie Petnick would agree. The fabric of the West End is the bars and the restaurants. And I've been looking for a young guy to get a bar and restaurant of the Wild West End. And I found my guy. Let's give it up. He's going to be a regular now, Kevin Healy. Woo! So Kevin, let's fill us in. First of all, welcome to the show. And fill us in on the bar restaurant scene here in the Wild West End of Long Beach.
Thank you, Howie. How's everybody doing? Good evening, Long Beach. I got a few shout outs. We got a grand reopening from Speakeasy this week. Got the place set up real nice, more tables and everything. They are going to be having their first Guinness toast to all the Guinness 100-pint drinkers. To everybody, their first toast of the year. We also got movie night every Tuesday at the Beach House. This week coming up, they're going to be playing The Big Lebowski, and it should be good. Across the street at Swing Bellies this Friday night from 10 p.m. to 1, we have the Presidential Ball, which is you dress up as a president, first lady, or a scandal like in the JFK scandal, and we have an open bar there from 10 to 1 and live music. What else? Off the top of my mind, Minnesota's. We have Ladies' Night Thursday night. Ladies drink for free. Across the street at Laguna, they have a great menu, very Italian. Oh, and of course, can't forget about Bob Johnson and the Cabana Taco Tuesdays, which is always familiar. $3 3-drink minimum, $3 tacos. Okay?
All right. Good job. Excellent. Look, he's nervous. His first time. He did a great job, and he's going to get better and better. It really is. All right. We're going to take a break. Coming up, we're going to hear about Eddie Digital, the Praise Report, Finian's Rainbow. We got some great segments. We got a lot more coming your way. This is Broadcasting on the Beach with Halftime Howie coming to you from the prestigious law office of Pechnick and Schaefer on the Wild West End